Hello everyone, and welcome to my 8-minute video about the ethics of government surveillance. Is it ethical under the standard we presented in class? Are they ethically correct or not? During this presentation, we will see why this should matter to us, normal people, and how they do it and what benefits does it bring to society. What some people think about it, and the drawbacks of it. All this to then put it on our ethical scale and decide if it is ethically or not. The ethical actor in question is the US government, as the government keeps data of all of us and everything we do in the internet, and they possesses the tools to spy on us if they wanted to. We will discuss the tools they got later on this video. Uh, as in today's day, everyone is always connected to the internet. We walk around with phone in our pockets that can track all locations. The average person takes 7 hours a day on looking at the internet, and they can take a lot of information from there. We use technology for everything in our life. Or TVs are connected to the internet, or PC to work with are connected to the internet. Should we care about why the government knows all that we can do? Is it ethically correct for them to know everything? Can they use it for good? Now, to present the ethical standard in which we will be grading the question we have been present here today of if it is ethical for government to do surveillance. We will be using the ethical standard we have decided in class, which is basically a scale of good against bad. How much something will benefit society against how much will it hurt it. Many more good outcomes than bad we can take from it. Being good, something as prosperity, safety, health, productivity, and many more. For a little bit of history about the question we have in hand. What basically began the government surveillance on the US. The Patriot Act. As the US was left shaken after the 9/11 attacks by a terrorist group, everyone had in mind something to stop this to ever happen again. And that's why really fast, just a month later, the US released the Patriot Act to trying to fight against terrorist groups and maintain domestic security. As this led the US maintain records of private data, monitor of communications, and surveillance of non-US citizens, all under security reasons. Everything we do with technology now is recorded by the government by the use of many different tools, as the one we're going to show today, and many more that are secret to us. These are examples of some methods they use. This gives the government our data so it can be stored, but it can also give the government other tools as ones used for actively spying on individuals, like the ones presented here, like PRISM, which is used to collect and decrypt data about the communications we do all over the internet, messages, emails, anything. Xkeyscore, which can track us down through the internet, like the searches we do and many more. Gunfish, which can be used to actively spy on cameras and microphones. Dishfire, to collect and store data about text messages like WhatsApp. This is one of the tools which the government gets more data, getting millions of data every day. The government may also contact with companies like Google for your GPS data and for tracking you, or telephone companies to spy on phone calls records. Many of the more active kind of surveillance, as hacking your cameras or phones, is something that will not affect any of us if we don't get their attention, but it is worrying that it's something that they can do. The government, through the years, has dispatched some information of what they have done for society, thanks to their proficient tools in the internet. Some of the things they have done are stopping Oregon-based terror trail allied with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, stopping hundreds of radical Taliban ideologies to spread and bomb threats, using to gather more information about terrorist organizations, which was the main idea of the Patriot Act. Also, stop a lot of drug trafficking and found out a lot of officials related to it, stopping of bug threats, and also being able to track many sex offenders and pedophiles. Many people and groups have raised a movement against the surveillance and for a right to privacy. Some of the things that have come to talk are the wrongfully profiling of mainly on communities of color, Muslims, black, brown people, people of Asian descent are mainly the groups affected by this wrongfully profiling and discrimination. There's also the idea that the government being able to look what you do and track what the things that you think are a distrust between the government and the people, which may cause problems on our democratic system. This also gives a lot of power to the government to stop anything that they dislike us. To this day, they may use it to stop a terrorist group against America. But if they have been in like another countries like China, which may use it to stop people rising for more freedom. So this tool can be very useful when stopping a revolution against a bad government. It is also the idea that everyone is potentially guilty until proven innocent, which is something which many people don't want to live in. Now, with all the ideas presented, I would like to show the scale of the good and the bad, to decide under the ethical standard we have presented earlier, if government surveillance is ethically good or ethically bad under the standard. To begin with, I will say that the good of it is it will lead to a safer society. If a safer society will be a lot healthier, increasing productions, and it will be a lot of more prosperous. Crime will decline. Also, there is some bad views to it, as privacy violations, and giving all this power to the government is something that people don't really like and trust. But looking to our current scale, I have decided that under the ethical standard, it is ethically good. Government surveillance. It will lead to a better life for us all. That's and a safer society. So remember, Big Brother is watching.